This is VOA News, reporting by remote. I'm Joe Ramsey. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has described the Delta variant of the coronavirus as being as transmissible as chickenpox and cautioned it could cause severe disease, according to U.S. media reports citing an internal CDC document. A report from the agency shows the variant is also more likely to break through protections afforded by the vaccines, but such incidents are very rare. It also says Delta is highly contagious, likely more severe than other variants, and breakthrough infections may be as transmissible as unvaccinated cases. Still, the CDC's figures shows that vaccines are highly effective in preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death. Australian soldiers will help to enforce coronavirus isolation orders in the hard-hit city of Sydney, police said on Friday, as resentment seized in some communities over new curbs to stem the highly contagious Delta variant. Prime Minister Scott Morrison is holding out hope of better times with a four-stage plan back to freedom, but says 80% of adults will have to be vaccinated before borders can begin to open. Sydney's 5 million people are under a strict stay-at-home order because of a worrying surge of nearly 3,000 infections since the middle of June. Authorities have this week outlined even tighter restrictions for some worst affected suburbs, including mandatory testing and mask wearing outdoors. Beginning Monday, some 300 Army personnel will help police go door to door to ensure people who have tested positive are isolating, according to New South Wales Police Commissioner Mick Fuller. Find more at voanews.com or follow us on the VOA mobile app. This is VOA News. U.S. officials say some 200 Afghans are set to begin new lives in the United States on Friday as an airlift got underway for translators and others who risked Taliban retaliation because they worked for the United States during its 20-year war in Afghanistan. The operation to evacuate U.S.-affiliated Afghans and family members comes as the U.S. troop pullout nears completion and government forces struggle to slow Taliban advances. The first plane load of 200 evacuees arrived at Fort Lee, a U.S. military base in the state of Virginia, for final paperwork processing and medical examinations. The Afghans are being granted special immigrant visas, entitling them to bring their families. As many as 50,000 or more people ultimately could be evacuated in what's being called Operation Allies Refuge. The Afghans are expected to remain at Fort Lee for up to 7 days before joining relatives or host families across the country. The United Nations voiced frustration Friday at holdups and delays in getting humanitarian aid into Tigray to deal with the, quote, catastrophic situation in the conflict-ridden region of northern Ethiopia. UN agencies said they were facing difficulties getting supplies, staff, and equipment into the region and said more than $430 million, half the total requirement, was still needed to fund the humanitarian response in Tigray until the end of the year. The UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said that after 8 months of conflict in Tigray, 5.2 million people, around 90% of the population, need life-saving and life-sustaining humanitarian assistance. Since June, only one 50-truck convoy of aid supplies has been able to enter Tigray. A spokesman said a convoy of more than 200 trucks is now on its way, but he says it's a drop in the ocean, and they still need at least 100 trucks to be making their way every day into Tigray if they stand a chance to reverse the situation. The Philippines says it has fully restored a major security agreement with the United States, with President Rodrigo Duterte retracting his intention to terminate the Philippines-U.S. Visiting Forces Agreement late Thursday. Duterte retracted the termination letter sent to the U.S. last year after meeting with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who told reporters the agreement with the Philippines helps the U.S. long-range planning. Analysts say access to the Philippines puts the U.S. in position to rapidly respond to threats from China in the South China Sea. They say it also bolsters U.S. counterterror and intelligence gathering in the region. Find more at voanews.com. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey, VOA News.